streaming? Question mark. Am I live on Wi-Fi? I have no idea. Maybe. Yes, I am, I think. Oh, I'm just gonna play ever17 for like 40 minutes because I requested 3 hours off my job and I'm not gonna go work for these 3 hours. I'm gonna play the game, no context. But we can watch the OP. Maybe you can figure something out about the game. Some hidden secret that's unbeknownst to me. This game came out like in 2001. Took me like 5 months to find this game on eBay. It has 4 discs, and I used that to install them. The game. I am you. Listening to this song probably gonna get my stream copyright strike, but whatever. It's 2017 in this game. May 1st is when the events start. We're in an underwater amusement park. That means life readings. Oh wait, it says at the bottom. I went to the eye doctor and I can't see anything nearby. If I put on my glasses, I can't see anything within like 10 feet. And if I take off my glasses, I can't see anything far away, so I gotta pick my poison. Supposed to be voice acting in this game that's Japanese, but I'm pretty sure I messed up the download of the game. So there's only voice acting for like 7 lines. There's only on occasion voice acting. I like this piano part. This game's supposed to be like 110 hours long, and only the last 10 hours of it are supposed to be good. I'm like 60 hours in, so you know, maybe I'm getting to the really, really good part. These are all my save files. Yep, played this in October of who knows when. Last time I played this was March 26th. Oh, oops. Did you sleep well? This is Sora, by the way. Thanks to somebody, I was up all night. This character is you. Sora. Didn't sleep a wink. Nope, because of this idiot who lifted her foot and kicked Takeshi, who was lying on her bed. On the bed. It's gonna hurt my voice to read every single line, I'm realizing now. Oh, yum. I feel I'd like a perm. Please, Nyama. Takeshi was still dreaming. Ha ha ha. It looked like Sora had noticed the graffiti and was trying to keep from exploding with laughter. What happened to his face? We got so mad. This is Sara. We took turns drawing on him. We scribbled the night away with this marker. Saying that, you laughed loudly. Even so, maybe you went a little too far. No, we didn't sleep at all because of this noisy beast. It's poetic justice. Kid is my character. So, Sora, hold off on telling him for a while, alright? You mean, you want me to pretend that I don't notice? That's it. Nyam. It's all white. Curlies, nyamana. Nyam, manya. Enough of that. Sorry. Sora, what about the decompression? We're in a decompression chamber. You are all done, of course. Is there anyone that feels ill? I feel fine. Me too. Well, we were up all night, so I feel groggy. And Kuranari-san. Just look at him. Kuranari-san is Takeshi. For anybody who's trying to follow. Math, social studies, science, English class, music. I can't play that. Did you say something? Alright, everyone. I would like to have you all gather in the control room at once. I'll go on ahead. Has anything happened? I will tell you all about it in the control room. Now, if you'll excuse me. Sora ducked and left the pressurization chamber. Sora's face as she left was devoid of humor. Not great. I guess 5:29 a.m. We're up early. We got Takeshi up and made for the control room. Sara was next to me. Ahead, you and Takeshi were talking about something as they walked. I couldn't quite make out what they were saying. Eventually, Takeshi slowed down, separated from you, and came back to us. Hey, you got any idea what you's all miffed about? Who knows? You don't have any ideas? If I did, you think I'd be asking you? You told me to look in the mirror, but... Huh? What? That's no fun. When Sara said that, it seemed like Takeshi finally figured it out. He wiped his face with his hand. What's this? He stared at the black ink on the palm of his hand. Damn, that girl. Licking his tongue, Takeshi hurried back up ahead to you. Sara and I laughed as we watched Takeshi and you exchange words. Tsugumi was in front of the control room. She was leaning against the wall with her arms folded and head down. Good morning. Good morning. Who said good morning? Me and Sara. With our greetings, Tsugumi slowly raised her head. Hey, Tsugumi, where did you go last night? Are you alright? Sora was telling us about when there's a sudden change in air pressure. The bends? I know. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Huh? Something flashed through my mind. It seemed like something about Tsugumi had changed from the day before. Maybe it was loneliness, but her attitude and way of talking had been toned down. Are you really fine? Yeah. Let's get inside. Sora is waiting for us. At Tsugumi's urging, Sara and I entered the control room. I'm sorry that I had to have you gather so early. There was no other way. It's 5:40 a.m. now. Actually, everyone, there is something I need to tell you right away. Sora paused for a second. Sora looked over all five of us. You, Sara, Tsugumi, Takeshi, and finally, me. The cooling fan whirred away in the silence. Occasionally, the sound of metal on metal rang through the room. The five of us waited on Sora's next words. Last night, after the four of you, apart from Komachi-san, Komachi is Tsugumi, entered the pressurization chamber, I was in the control room here, thinking about ways to escape or contact the outside. And, while I was checking the internal status of Lemieux, I discovered something. Found a way to escape. No. Then a way to contact the outside? Not yet. Then what did you figure out? I discovered the amount of pressure the bulkheads can withstand. I found their limits. Saying that, Sora turned her eye to the side of the console. In the darkness, a three-dimensional image of Lemieux sprung up. Pressure, bulkhead, what? I mean, Lemieux's walls. The partitions between the outer seawater and the inner air. What do you mean when you say you found a limit? Like I said yesterday, Lemieux is a structure basically constructed on a saturation diving specification design. In other words, the internal air pressure equals or is greater than the external water pressure. However, the complex's internal air pressure is currently at 1 atmosphere. Therefore, Lemieux's outer shell is constantly being subjected to severe water pressure. Correct. But Lemieux is not constructed to endure this situation for a long period of time. Inevitably, it will, at some point, reach its limit. Well put, Tanaka-san. So, when is this limit? According to Lemieux's calculations, in 119 hours, or 5 days from now, right? Calculation. We stared in tandem at Tsugumi. You are well informed. Did you look that up on the security office terminal? It is exactly as Komachi-san says. The estimated time of implosion is approximately 4:30 a.m. on May 7th. Of course, it is only a calculation, and there is a margin of error. plus or minus 12 hours. Is that the margin of error? That is correct, but that pushed us into silence. It seemed like everyone was lost in thought. We knew for sure that we were in serious trouble. Sora's words had shaken us a bit. But 5 days sounded like a long time, and it really didn't register with me. I kept thinking that a rescue team would arrive at any time, so I didn't really worry. I didn't really feel that it was worth worrying about. Hey, Sora? Can I summarize what you said to make sure I got it? At 4:30 a.m. on May 7th, the walls of Lemu will reach the limit of the pressure that they can handle. But that might happen at 4:30 p.m. on the 6th, or at 4:30 p.m. on the 7th. Is that right so far? Yes. So doesn't that mean the opposite is also true? I mean, at the worst, Lemu will last until 4:30 p.m. on May 6th. So until then, we have nothing to worry about? We can't be absolutely certain that we will be safe. By judging from the results of Lemu's calculations, that would appear to be the case. Oh, so that's it. So as long as help comes by the 6th, then we're okay? I see. If you had said we only have one more day or something, I might have burst out crying. So we still have lots of time. I'm sure that someone will come to help us before that. The tension in the air broke, and sighs of relief could be heard around the room. Tsugumi, having gotten the information somewhere before us, was smiling to herself smugly. It was 5:50 a.m. Ah, yawn. Yawn. Ah. Takeshi gave a large yawn. Wow, 6:26 a.m. Sara and I sat cross-legged on a bench in the rest area. The floor was covered with water. That was good, I'll say. We had polished off fried tuna sandwiches and that Takeshi had made for us. Because of this game, I've eaten more tuna sandwiches, I'll tell you what. As for the other floor, Sora was, as usual, cooped up in the control room and was trying to make contact via limit. Tsugumi had vanished without saying where she was going. Takeshi had gone to deliver sandwiches to Sora and Tsugumi. Yu was changing clothes. Apparently, she had spilled something on them while eating. Fortunately, her normal clothes were safe in the changing room in the dry area. She was an employee at this underwater establishment, and what we saw her wearing previously was her work uniform. However, now she decided to change into her regular clothing. Hey, I'm full now. Why don't we play a game? Game? Yeah, the Yamanote line game, or a word game. Very relatable. I know, rock, paper, scissors, charades! We play, and the winner gets to choose something. And then the loser has to mimic it, okay? Ready? Rochambeau. Come on, put your hand out. I haven't said I'm going to play. And what is that Rochambeau? It's what you say when you play rock, paper, scissors. And as to whether or not you're going to play, you are. Who said you could decide? Be quiet. Now let's play. Not doing anything is boring, right? Oh, alright. That's more like it. Okay, here we go. Ready? Rochambeau. I chose paper, and Sara picked scissors. I picked rock, if it made things any better. Haha, I won. So I pick salmon. Sake. Salmon? You mean like a fish? Yup. So let's see it. Salmon, 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 salmon. I open and close my mouth like a fish, gyrating my hips around and doing my best to become a salmon. Yahahaha. Sara was laughing and holding her stomach. It looked like I had been a good salmon. Alright. Now I'm warmed up. Let's go again. Ready? Rochambeau. I chose scissors, and Sara picked paper. Scissors is OP is what I'm gathering. Oof, I lost. Don't give me a weird one, okay? Please, please. I decided to make her act like spoiled baby, Caesar, Minnie Mouse. In the game, there are decisions you make that make people like you more or less. And I have to make sure that this isn't one of the decisions that make her like me more or less, depending on what I pick. Oops. Sorry, gamers. I'm Okay, I'm pretty sure this is not one. So I'm gonna pick a spoiled baby. I'll have you act out a spoiled baby. Oh, I might be good at that. Yeah, I bet. You won't have to act. Really? Yup. Okay then, Matsunaga Sara-san, become a spoiled baby. I'm little Sarah. That milk's cold. I won't drink that milk unless you warm it up to body temperature. It is not a baby. Sorry. I can't remember what babies are like, so I don't know if that was close. Our character Kid has amnesia, so he has no idea about anything in the real world. And then, what are you doing? You appeared in change clothes. Her change clothes. We're playing rock, paper, scissors, charades. You're playing rock, paper, scissors, charades? That sounds fun. Can I play? Sure. Sarah explained the rules to you. Okay, I got it. Alright then, let's play. Ready? Rochambeau. Just then, the lights illuminating the room started to flicker. Instinctively, I looked up to the ceiling. Listening carefully, I heard a sound like the rumble of thunder far away. What could that be? Tiny waves formed in the water, pooled on the floor. The walls and ceiling trembled slightly. Metal screeched on metal. No, it couldn't be. Couldn't be what? Doesn't that sound a lot like when the water flooded in yesterday? The blood appeared to drain from the faces of you and Sarah in the flickering light. Immediately after that, darkness blanketed us. The tremors and sounds stopped, but an eerie silence filled the area. Only the emergency lights glowed dimly. Blackout. It's a blackout. What about everybody else? Where are Takeshi, Sugumi, and Sora? Sugumi and Sora? Well, where's Sugumi? Sarah and I shook our heads in the darkness. Anyway, let's go looking for Kuronari and Sugumi. And Sora? Sora is... Let's not worry about her for now. She took care of her. What? I'll tell you later. Looking for those two is the top priority right now. You started running. Sarah and I followed her without knowing what was going on. In front of the control room, wow, it's still very early. The power was out, so the door didn't open automatically. You pulled the lever next to the door and opened it manually. The three of us went inside. Kuronari, Sugumi, if you're there, then answer. You called into the darkness. I wondered why she only called out for Takeshi and Sugumi. Sora! Sora! I called out to Sora. I called to Sora, but there was no answer. Sora should have been here. I wonder where she went. You had picked up a flashlight at some point. I imagine she had gotten it somewhere from the control room. You turned it on. A white circle of light appeared on the wall. You shined the flashlight left and right, lighting up all corners of the room. The electrical system was completely down. Like an abandoned castle, there was no sign of warmth left. Wow, an abandoned castle. There was clearly nobody there. Doesn't seem like there's anyone here. We left the room. Can you carry this? You handed me the flashlight and shut the control room door. Just then, splash, splash, splash. We heard the sounds of someone running towards us through water. After a short while, two figures emerged from the darkness. Oh, Takeshi! Sugumi! Takeshi and Sugumi approached, walking through the water. Have you seen Sora? I thought she was in the control room. It was empty. Really? Takeshi used the manual lever to open the door. He just checked. He looked inside. Do you want a flashlight? Yeah, thanks. Takeshi took the flashlight, turned it on, and went into the room. Geez, where would Sora go at a time like this? Takeshi said that when he emerged from the control room. So, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? You said that calmly. I hope I did too. It had been a series of emergencies since the day before. Maybe we were all completely used to it. In any case, none of us were freaking out. For now, all we can do is split up and look for Sora. Without Sora, we won't know why there's been a blackout. Yeah, Sora knows more about Lemu than anyone. Sora... Maybe it's time. Since it's come to this, I'll tell you. I don't think we'll find Sora, even if we look. Huh? What? Why not? I can't tell you the reason. It's something that you should hear from Sora herself. Anyway, just take my word for it. You don't have to worry, Sora is just fine. And she'll come back for sure. Come back? You ignored my question. I see. So, what are you going to do? I think we should try the generator room. The generator room? I figure that the cause of this blackout is the trouble in the generator room. That reminded me of something Sora had said the day before. Lemieux didn't receive any power from the outside, but had an in-house generator system. There was a thermal seafloor vent where hot water was pumped out of the seabed, and heat from that was used to operate the generator. Tsugumi, you'll come along, won't you? Sorry, but I'm not up for it. Tsugumi, why are you smiling? Why are you like this? What? I'm not going. If you want to go, be my guest. Saying that, Tsugumi left. What if we were about to say something useful? Huh? It didn't look like it would be any use calling after her. Jeez, I have no clue what's going on in that girl's head. Oh well, the four of us will have to go. Naku, where is the generator room? This is one of the lines I was voice acted. The generator room is here, in Dritzer stock. Alright, let's get a move on. You, can you lead the way? As she started walking toward the corridor. Hey, Kuranari-san, where do you think you're going? I added the san, Japanese. Where? To the generator room, of course. It was your idea to start with, right? And just how do you intend to get there? Huh? By walking through the corridors, dummy? Oh, please. You really don't get anything, do you? No, Riz. Huh? What is that supposed to mean? No, what's that supposed to mean? Hey, you. I don't think I get it either. Me neither. You guys don't remember the map of Lemieux we saw yesterday? Map? Controllers that's the control room where we're at now. Oh, you mean 3-story map that was split into two areas? Oh, that's right. You remember it too, Coronari. Craftwork is the generator room. This is where we're at. There's no area connecting the two. I can't say I remember it exactly, but kinda, yeah. And what was between those two areas? Between them? How am I supposed to know? I don't think there was anything. Bingo. Louis, bingo, bandit, and chili. Meaning what? The two areas are divided by a block, which is now underwater. So we can't go directly from the control room area to the generator room area. Besides that, the emergency stairs of one of those areas was also flooded. So what? Oh, I get it. To get to the generator rooms area, we have to access the second floor. And the only way we can do that is by using the neutral buoyancy elevator. Das Ei. EI is egg in German. Correct. So we have to go to the entrance to the neutral buoyancy elevator. That's right. Now that you've got it, let's get going. Ready, set, go. Ninja. Sara took a bizarre kung fu pose and started spinning like a top. I had no clue what she was trying to do. Me neither. What did ninjas do in 2017? Before going for repairs, we had to secure tools. When the four of us ascended from Schweitzer stock, we stopped by the warehouse first. Fortunately, we found the tools we needed right away. Pliers, a spanner, a screwdriver, a hammer, a small welding machine, etc., etc. Packed all of the tools we imagined we might need into a toolbox and headed for the neutral buoyancy elevator. The neutral buoyancy elevator. About 7 a.m. I meant egg in German. It meant. I guess I wonder what it means now. It was also a literal take on the egg-shaped elevator that traveled up and down rails into the ocean on the side of Lemieux. A ballast tank was attached to the floor. It would take in or release seawater from the tank as necessary to increase or reduce buoyancy, making the elevator rise or sink. I always thought that was really cool. Once we were inside, we sealed the watertight doors on the Lemieux side of the elevator. All we had to do was release the lock connecting us to Lemieux, and the egg would sink away. You pulled the operating lever next to the door. Nothing happened. What's going on? We're not sinking at all. No, it doesn't seem like it. You think it's because the power is out? No, the I elevator is a neutral buoyancy elevator, so it basically doesn't require outside power. But it does need power for the intake and release of water for the ballast tank. This is the only time it needs power. We're in a blackout right now. So there's no way to control the ballast valve? Is that a problem? Yes. Oh great, so that means we can't move this thing at all then. Stupid, that's wrong. And you're supposed to be a college student? Well, excuse me, so put it in terms I can understand. Professor, I know. Alright, Matsunaga-kun. In order to use buoyancy to rise or sink, the weight of the elevator must exceed the buoyancy for the object to sink, or vice versa. That's correct. You figured it out too, kid, right? Yeah, I understand. Yeah, you mean the Archimedes principle, right? The buoyancy of a submerged object is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the object. Right now, the buoyancy of the elevator is exactly balanced with the elevator's weight. So if we make the elevator heavier, it will outweigh the buoyancy, and so the elevator will sink, right? Wow, good work, you two. What brains. You patted our heads as you praised us. Smart girl. Unlike some other people here. So the reason that I won't sink yet is that it's not heavy enough, right? You did just say that. Yes, we need to find something heavy. We split up and went in search of things we could use as weights. And several minutes later, Takeshi was carrying a massive potted plant. Eve, oh. You brought a plaster ornament. And I brought a magazine holder and a bundle of magazines from the security office. Is that really the best you could do, kid? And Sarah? Eve. Pull. Sarah, that's... What in the name of... Sarah was dragging a massive tuna. What happened to that? It was in the corridor over there. I guess it probably washed out from the kitchen fridge during the flood. It's a little cold, but it's okay, right? Gigantic, huge tuna. Wow, I'm not helping carrying this thing at all. So the four of us packed ourselves into I and headed down to Dritterstock holding a frozen tuna. I began to descend ever so slowly. Peeking through the window and into the blue, we could see the outside of Lemieux. The blue gradually got darker, and the steel bulkhead appeared to move farther away, upward. We were silent during that time. What was there really to talk about? No, actually, you did say one thing. Hey, wasn't catching dolphins for food banned under some international treaty? It seemed that you was having trouble with the difference between dolphin and a tuna. No one tried to answer her. I decided not to think about anything. Slowly but surely, we're moving and grooving. Dritterstock Sector 7 was another area sealed off because of flooding. That was where we got off. Once the four of us holding the tuna got off, I lost its baggage and floated up to Schweizerstock again. Oh no, what'll we do? We can't get back now. No problem, there's one more I. I checked and it stopped on this floor. Oh, that surprised the heck out of me. Hahaha. If there wasn't another one, there's no way the four of us would ever come down here. You sure? You seem pretty petrified with fear yourself. Sip it. I don't want to hear any more lip from you. Alright. Enough of that. Let's get going. We put the frozen tuna down and began walking toward the generator room. The side of the area was also inundated with water from the flood. It was still bathed in darkness. Blue light from the surface dimly pierced through the small round windows, making a wave-like shadow on the floor. That's kind of a pretty sight. Four of us relied on that and our flashlight as we proceeded deeper and deeper into the complex. Hey, wait up! When we turned a corner, we heard Takeshi call out from behind us. What are you doing? Hurry up! No dawdling or we'll leave you behind. I'll show you dawdling. This toolbox weighs a ton! Looking back, there was Takeshi with the toolbox on the floor, breathing hard. Jeez, give me a break. Kid, give him a hand. Alright. I hurried to where Takeshi was. Takeshi, I'll help you. Thanks. Take it from that side. Okay. The two of us took the toolbox from both sides. Whew, thanks. I thought my arms would fall off carrying it all alone. Quit exaggerating. Oh, Takeshi, watch out. There's a bump sticking out there. Whoa, that was close. Takeshi was just able to right himself. Whew, that surprised the heck out of me. I just about fell down. Glad you noticed that, kid. It being so dark and everything. Good job. Huh? You really think it's that dark? Takeshi, maybe you've got bad night vision. Could be. What is it that causes that? Lack of vitamin A or something? I hate liver and carrots. You shouldn't be so picky. Finally, as we caught up with you, we reached our destination. Dim yellow and black stripes appeared ahead. This is it. This is the generator room. There was a place with information on the front of the door, but it was too dark to read. I'll take a look. You reach toward the door handle. Don't do it. Wait a second. Instinctively, I grabbed Yu's arm. What is it? Takeshi and Sara stared at me questioningly. They don't know. Él no sabe. What's the matter? The thing is... I couldn't find the words to reply. I wondered why I had said what I said. This is a pretty weird part. I lied about that. I really don't know. Yet somehow, if you don't know what's going on inside, don't you think it might be dangerous to just open the door? I was just rattling off what popped into my mind. No, I hadn't even thought it. It just seemed to jump from my throat before anything else. Kind of like when you snap your hand back after touching a hot stove. I just reflexively blurted it out. What an apt metaphor. What do you mean? Yu wasn't buying it. I took my hand from Yu's arm and searched for words. At that moment, it's kind of like this. If a pipe carrying hot water bursts, then the room could be full of hot steam. Sara took up the slack in my explanation. Oh, I see. While I sensed danger, I couldn't express in words what it might be. Three of us nodded, satisfied. Okay, let's give it a try. Yu touched his hand to the wet floor, went to place his damp fingers on the door. The droplet sizzled, evaporating away. It's true. It was just like Sara had said. Wow, that was pretty sharp, kid. Yeah, I replied, but I hadn't really known it would be dangerous either. The one who had known was a separate someone inside me. That someone had simply borrowed my voice. Our dual personality syndrome. What had happened was so strange that it made me feel out of place in my own skin. Anyway, with things as they stand, there's no going inside. Oh, shoot! I'll say. First off, let's close off all valves for the pipe sending hot water to the generator room. If we stop the flow of hot water, then steam should stop flowing into the room. Valves? Where are those? In the room next door, down one more corridor, that way. It won't require that many people, just me and one more person to help. Alright, leave it to me. Huh? Kuranari? Hey, what's wrong with me? It's just that, if we're alone, I'm afraid that you'll do something. Oh no. Pervert Takeshi, except he hasn't really had a streak of doing it, so she's just, she just senses it. The female intuition. Maybe I should help? Oh no, that's okay. Mayo, you wait here. Sara is Mayo, because Matsunaga and Sara, I don't know, something about that is some pun in Japanese. Hey kid, so what are you gonna do? Huh? Me? So for the story, I think I 100% have to do what's necessary and wait here. Yep, I need to set my weight here. Just making sure, sorry, I'm killing every single viewer here. killing you softly. Never let me go. Set, wait here. Yep. So, I'll wait here. I'll wait here. I'll leave you with the pervert, Takeshi. So what are we gonna do? Oh well, then I have to make do with Kurenari. Jeez, you're a piece of work. Can't you let your real feelings show? So we're clear. At this point, this is the first time I'm seeing these lines of dialogues. This is my first run through it with you guys, so I probably, who knows, I'll be a real React Andy. Don't be getting any strange ideas. You do, and I'll knock you down. Got it? Take it easy. There's no way I try to try something on you, even by mistake. When the two of them disappeared at the far end of the corridor, they were still going at it. Those two. Yeah? I don't know. I think they make a pretty good couple, don't you? Think so? Yeah. Naki is the kind of person who tells people she likes what she really thinks. What? Who tells people she likes what she really thinks? She speaks her mind. Takeshi kind of seems like that too. I wasn't sure why, but somehow I was a little jealous of you and Takeshi. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't open up to anyone like that. I had nothing to share. We have amnesia. After a while after the two had disappeared, Sarah and I hadn't spoken another word. The two of us just leaned against the wall and stared into the darkness. I was desperately trying to think of some way to break through the wall that had formed between us. Sarah, how old are you? Finally, the words tumbled out of my mouth. Where did that come from? I thought I told you. I don't think so. I'm a junior. I'm 16. And I was born on January 21st. Oh, and I'm an Aquarius. Thanks for the details I didn't ask for, alright? Sarah recited it so smoothly that it was like she was singing a song. I actually thought she was 18. And you, kid? I didn't know. When I tried to remember, it was like my mind would fog over. I couldn't get close to it. It was like a mirage in the desert. I wonder how old I am. You don't know that either? Nope. That's kind of sad. Yeah. Maybe it's good in a way. What do you mean? Well, maybe it was something that you wanted to forget about. Just kidding. Sarah's expression relaxed to a silly look. What? Don't scare me like that. Sorry. Oh, I know. Maybe if I chopped you down, we'd find out how old you are. Huh? You know, maybe you've got rings like a tree stump. For some reason, my eyes strayed to the palms of my hand. In the darkness, only dimly illuminated by the emergency lights, my fingers appeared to glow slightly white. I still didn't know what had happened to my finger. Your finger. Muttering that, Sarah grabbed my finger. Whoa, this is a nice picture. Something weird is gonna happen, I hope not. It was so sudden that it put me at a loss for words. I forgot that something's weird with my finger. I wish I knew what. In the darkness, Sarah whispered words like she was confirming something as she gripped my thumb. Moon sprite, holding a long bow. Waiting inside a dream. What does that mean? Sarah just shook her head. There was no sign that she was going to answer me. She just murmured the words like a spell or a nursery rhyme as she gently held my thumb. A moon sprite. I wondered why Sarah had suddenly grabbed my thumb. Still, I didn't have any urge to pull it away from her. As I remained aware of my thumb, I searched for an answer from Sarah's slightly sweaty, warm palm. My back hurts. Her slightly sweaty, warm palm. Thanks for waiting. I think we'll be okay now. It was a hassle looking for the valve, but with the two of them back, Sarah finally released my thumb. In darkness, I couldn't make out Sarah's expression very well. The area around her mouth pulled down slightly in a sad motion. Warmth lingered around my thumb. I didn't know why, but I hesitated to wipe the warmth away, and gently inserted my hand into my pocket, leaving my thumb extended. With that, we had been able to shut off the hot water flowing to the generator room. Even so, on the other side of the door, it was still hot enough to scald. The four of us waited outside the generator room until we could be sure that the temperature inside had cooled enough. Wow, 9:42 a.m. We've been up since like 5:30 or something. 4 hours. When we thought the time had come, we timidly opened the door. It was like opening the door to a public bath. A cloud of steam hissed out of the door. The heat inside just about defied imagination. The air in the steam-filled room was heavy and stuck to the skin. Inhaling felt like swallowing globs of sticky, hot steam. Takeshi was opening and closing his mouth like a fish out of water. Isn't it hard to breathe? Just stop pointing out the obvious. Talking about it just makes it worse. Not Q. Let's just do what we have to and get out of here. Alright, let's divide up what we have to do and be efficient about this. I'll be here. Kuranari, can I get you to go over there? Kid, I want you to... And so we got to work fixing the generator. Takeshi and you tackled the main work. There was hardly anything for Sara and myself to do, as we knew squat about machines. We functioned as assistants, shining flashlights, handing over tools, and loosening valves as instructed. After a while, we succeeded in repairing the generator. It was just like Sara had said. The cause of the blackout was the opening of the safety valve due to the drop in air pressure. When pressure from the steam becomes excessive, the valve automatically opens to release the gas and prevent damage. Oh. Normally, after release of surplus gas, the valve is designed to shut naturally. But we're only at 1 atmosphere. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be 6 atmospheres in here, because we're so deep underwater that that's the amount necessary so that we don't blow ourselves up. Because the safety valve never closed, the steam continued leaking. Anyway, that was the gist of the explanation. And 21, nice. We left the generator room and went to the pipe room. There, we opened the valve we had closed before the repairs and returned to the generator room. So, should we try to fire it up? Takeshi whispered the question as we stood in front of the generator room switch. I'm turning it on. Sara, you and I nodded silently. You ready? Just do it. Pipe down, kid. Let's start the countdown. 50 seconds to... From 50. 45 seconds to... Takeshi continued, ignoring her. Kuranari, that's too long. 40. 39. 38. It was irritating. 37. 36. 35. So irritating. 34. All three of us except Takeshi pushed the button. Hey, what are you doing? You still have 34 seconds to go. 34 is 17 times 2. Nobody wants to wait 34 seconds. Somebody had to push it. You guys can't even wait a little more than a simple 30 seconds. Why wait? This is a kind of like a ritual. Anyway, it's a very important. Whoa. Lights lit up all at once. The light poured down, illuminating even the corners of the room. It was like our field of vision had expanded in an instant. 17. What? Lights came down with 17 seconds left in the countdown. Wow. Everything in this game tries tied to 17 numbers. 7. Anyway. What are you talking about? Don't understand? The power came back on with the 17 seconds left to count. Oh, I see. I understood what she was saying. You mean if we would have pushed it at 17 seconds, it would have been just right? Yeah. Haha, that would have been something. I wasn't sure if Takeshi was over his anger, but he shouldered the heavy toolbox and left the room. We retraced our path until we were in front of the neutral buoyancy elevator. The frozen tuna's empty eyes were waiting for us. The elevator we had used coming down had already floated up to Schweitzer. But to the left, the floor display was lit up with the number 3. Oh, this is heavy. Takeshi groaned as he put the toolbox on the floor of the elevator. You sound like an old man. Shut up. I am an old man compared to you. While they needled each other, I pushed the up button next to the door. The internal and external watertight doors had already sealed automatically. We could hear air being sent to the ballast and tank under the floor. Finally, the egg-shaped elevator didn't start to float up. Huh? Are you serious? The sound beneath the floor had stopped, and silence had returned. Not again. Why do we keep running into problem after problem? Knowing it was useless, I pushed the up button repeatedly. Of course, I didn't budge at all. Alright, so what do we do? Just as I said that, a monitor just to the right round window flickered to life. Kuranari-san, Tanaka-san, Matsunaga-san, Kid-san. Sora, where have you been? We looked everywhere for you. I'm terribly sorry. Please accept my apologies. Accept my apologies. The image of Sora in the monitor bowed deeply. That's not important right now. Sora? So we fixed the generator? It would appear so. Thank you so much. Thank you. I think you know this, but we're in this egg. This eye? Yes, I know. The eye is not moving, correct? What should we do? First, in regards to the cause, it is likely the result of a decrease in the internal air pressure that has made the device incapable of sufficiently expelling the seawater in the ballast tank. In other words, mean it isn't buoyant enough? Correct. There are a number of feasible methods for making it rise, but in the end, we decided to split into pairs to right make the elevator. In line with the principle of Archimedes, if the buoyancy was insufficient, we had to lighten the load. First, Sara and I got an eye. Sara and Tsugumi were waiting at Schweitzer stop. Good work, you two. Tsugumi, be useful. Sora beamed a welcoming smile at us. Tsugumi just stood there, staring at Sora and me. Next came you, and then the tuna took the elevator to return to our floor. This is cold. Tsugumi smiling. I noticed that when Tsugumi saw you cradling the frozen fish, he grinned for the first time. Sora, on the other hand, are you alright? Kurenari-san. Sora ran up next to the fish in a panic. Not you. You brought along the fish? Of course, it is food after all. Waste not, want not, right? Forget that for now. More importantly, Kurenari-san. Sora was still flustered and babbling next to the fish. I wondered if she really thought that Takeshi had turned into a fish. This is all my fault. Oh my gosh. What can I do? I know you're occupied, but... Huh? I think the question is more, what should I do? Nearly an hour had passed since the power had gone back online. We gathered in the third floor conference room. Takeshi, Tsugumi, Sora, you, Sara, and I, all 6 of us, were sitting in chairs, just letting time pass. The rescue team still hadn't come. Our situation didn't show any sign of changing. That's a yawn, I guess. Who started this? Takeshi? Takeshi's yawn was contagious. I desperately tried to keep myself from yawning. Only Sora had her head down and looked as if she was thinking about something. We were bored silly. That is Sora, right? I hadn't realized that doing nothing could be so hard. Well, I might as well get some exercise. Thinking that, I stood from the chair. What's up? Sara shot me the question, slumped in the chair next to mine. You've got all this time, so I thought I'd go for a little walk. Oh, in that case, can you bring me back something to drink? Huh? Why was that in that case thing? I'm thirsty. I think there was juice in the kiosk, right? I think so. Okay, thanks. I have no problem with doing this. No problem, yep. And you just like me, so no problem. Oh well, what kind of juice is okay? Wait, let me look at something secret. I have 2 with Sara, that's good. Ah, I have 2 with Tsugumi and 3 with you. Cool. Oh well, so any kind of juice is okay? Sure, anything is fine. Great! I felt like the group hierarchy had sorted itself out. On the bottom. I left the conference room and headed for the kiosk. I had a good idea of where it was from my wanderings around the complex the day before. I went through the rest area on the way. Huh? Something had been left on the bench. It was wrapped tuna sandwiches. What time is it? 12:30. I figured they were probably sandwiches that Takeshi had made and taken to Tsugumi and Sora. I assumed that they had been forgotten during the blackout. Alright, I might as well take these. I took the sandwiches and put them into my pockets. And you put 2 sandwiches in your pockets? Brother, what? How big are these pockets? At the kiosk, I started looking for drinks. There was enough food and drinks for us to survive for days. Oh, this is going to be so dirty. There were only tuna sandwiches and ingredients to make them there, but at least we didn't have to worry about food, meaning it was a blessing in disguise. I took 6 cans of cola from the kiosk freezer, Coca-Cola. Only Sarah had asked, but I thought I'd take back enough for everyone. Here we go. Cradling cola in both arms, I started heading back. Here you go. When I came back, everyone was chatting loudly. Cards were randomly placed on the table, facing down. They might have been playing a game. Welcome back. I figured since I was there, I'd bring back enough for everyone. Thank you, sir. Sarah took 2 of the cans and handed one to you. Here you go, Naku. Hey kid, that sure was thoughtful of you. You took the cola from Sarah and popped open the tab. She held down the carbonation to keep it from erupting. Like a pro, she kept from being showered with sticky liquid. Huh, alright. What an interesting line. So what were you all up to with the cards? I put the remaining 4 cans on the table. Mental guts. What's that? You don't know mental guts? Never heard of it. Oh, I'll bet it went with your memory. It's a super famous game. I realized that I couldn't remember even those kinds of things. I wonder if I should have been more uneasy about my lost memory than I was. First, I thought I'd have a cola. Oh, by the way, I also brought these. I remembered the sandwiches and plunged my left hand into my pocket while holding the can in my right. What? These? I removed the wrapped sandwich. Huh? Where'd you get these? Did you make them? It was on the bench in the rest area. Didn't you leave it there, Takeshi? Oh yeah, it's the one that I forgot to give to Sora. I left it there during the blackout hubbub. I thought someone might be hungry. I yawned in real life. Oh great. You're so thoughtful. You rushed over and violently messed up my hair. Oh, that's right, I have another one. Feeling good about myself, I put the can in my other hand and went to get the sandwich from my right pocket. What's the matter? It's gone. There was nothing in my right pocket. Did you drop it? No way. I didn't think that I could have dropped it. Somehow, I felt there was something odd going on. This is a spooky game, kid. Scary. Alright, then this is Sora's. Looking, I saw Takeshi holding the sandwich out towards Sora. You didn't eat breakfast, right? No, I'm fine. Don't be so polite. I made it. I know it tastes good. Still... Hey, I'm not kidding. I'll vouch for him. They're pretty good. Me too. Sarah and I both raised our hands in a show of agreement. I plead the 5th. Sora, what? You can't eat my food? That's not it. Then what is it? Eat too much yesterday? Or are you on a diet? No, but No, you have to eat or you'll get weak. Here, take it. He tossed the cola and tuna sandwich toward Sora. They traced a gentle arc through the air. Sora suddenly reached out her hands. Uh-oh, stinky. She reached out, but... Sora didn't catch them. No, she couldn't catch them. She didn't avoid them. It wasn't that she was too slow. Sora was there with her hands extended into space. The sandwich had fallen at her feet. The cola had violently slammed the wall behind her, exploded. The spewing cola didn't get Sora wet. The droplets looked like they flew through Sora's body. The sandwich wrapper covered the silhouette of Sora's sandal. It was as if the two of them had melded together. Huh? Kashi wasn't the only one surprised. I also was confused without a clue. It could have been that it seemed odd because I didn't know it from the start, or maybe it seemed strange because I'd forgotten it. So all I could do was sit there with my mouth agape, my eyes staring at the spectacle. That's why I said I didn't need it. Sora made an embarrassed-looking expression. What? No, that's what Takeshi looked completely puzzled. I meant to toss them as if I was handing them over. That's weird. Your hand must have slipped. Excuse me, Kurinari-san. There's nothing strange about it. But the cola blew up, and... Is your clothing alright? Yes. But you're stepping on the sandwich. Your foot. You've got no toes, Sora-san. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. And just like that, Sora's vanished toes reappeared. Our dogs are back in. But the place where the sandwich was supposed to be wavered unsteadily. I didn't have any idea what it all meant. I guess that you didn't know, Kuranari-san? Sora was shuffling embarrassedly. Sora, what in the world are you? For some reason, you gave a huge sigh right next to Takeshi. And then... forehead. She burst out laughing. I just had to watch because it was so funny, Kuranari. You really don't listen to anything. What are you talking about? Takeshi was still confused. The explanation at the park entrance? So what? What about it? Looking around, only Takeshi and I were surprised. A strange expression floated onto Sarah's face, but it seemed like she knew what was going on. Tsugumi's face was blank. She's unreadable, like a book in a different language. Apart from Takeshi, it seemed like nobody felt like it was anything to be surprised about. Wait, I'm kinda Gee-willikers, right? Jeez. Tsugumi stood up as if irritated. I can't watch any more of this. It's ridiculous. After spitting out those words, she left the conference room. All you do is yell at us and leave. Like, hello? You can have your little baby hamster. I wouldn't want you around. But I haven't beat the game yet, so maybe not. Maybe you were used to it, but we just watched her go. No one tried to stop her. We'll just let Tsugumi be. We'll just leave Tsugumi be. Sora, sorry to bother you. But could you introduce yourself again? Yes, of course. Punctured can had stopped fizzing. Sora took a step towards us, carefully avoiding the sandwich, and straightened up. After a slight bow, she spoke. I'm Akanegasaki Sora. My official name is LMRSDS-4913A. I'm an artificial intelligence, or AI, program in charge of guiding visitors around Lemieux. I've been programmed as one part of the Lemieux system. If you call me from any nearby terminal, I will soon appear anywhere within Lemieux. Honestly, my image matches you through a network supporting this RST system throughout their complex. I think there are a few places in the world boasting this kind of technology. Huh? So it was RSD. I've never seen one this amazing. It's one of Lemieux's big attractions. That's why Sora disappeared during the blackout? Yes, I'm sorry to have caused you undue concern. I'd finally lost any sense of what was going on. Takeshi looked flustered as well. The conversation had taken off and left me and Takeshi behind. What's RSD? Simply put, it is an image display system that uses a semiconductor to shine a laser directly onto your retina. I see. I nodded. I had no clue what she was talking about, but I thought it might have been because I had no memory. It also seemed that any more questions would stall the conversation. So I decided to take an I don't get it, but that's okay approach. And supporting such an advanced personality. The surprising thing was that Sara seemed to be following the conversation the best. Lemieux is fairly perfectionist when it comes to virtual space technologies. My existence is one manifestation of that. Doesn't that require a big system? Yes, but it is much smaller than it would have been several decades ago. How big? Where is it? I'd like to see it. I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to say it. It's a secret. You weren't given details? That's correct. Look at her face. She's hiding something. Okay, what'd she say? Well, this is a bit of a different question, but does Sora's personality change based on her memories? Conversation was getting more and more technical. Sara kept badgering Sora with technical questions. Things about sampling and algorithms, and structure this and encode that. Jargon was flying around. My head started to hurt. Hey, you? I approached you and tugged on her sleeve. This conversation is crazy complex. What's with Sara anyway? She is a computer ninja of sorts. Ninja. They keep popping their head out every other sentence. Stop with the stupid jokes. Wow, I said that very seriously. You puffed out her cheeks as if pouting. It didn't seem she was in the mood for a comeback. Mayo? She's a hacker. Hacker? That means... Naturally, I know what a hacker is. No, we want her to explain. Hacker? Yeah, how should I explain this? I guess you could say a computer expert of sorts? Anyway, she knows everything about computers, and she kicks butt when it comes to programming too. She writes programs for fun. Just the other day, she got first place in some cracking contest. Cracking contest? Contest to break codes. Just so you know, it's not illegal. It was sponsored by some company with code technology. It was legal cracking to test their security. The company has hackers attack their algorithms. I was getting more and more lost. Just think of it as a decryption game contest. Oh, so it's a game. Just because you call it a game, I wouldn't take it lightly. There were engineers participating from all over the world. Winning it means that you're one of the world's best hackers. You could even say the best hacker. The best? That's just way too incredible. I know. When it comes to computer, she's a genius. I see. It seemed that you truly couldn't tell who a person was by appearance. Apart from being a little mischievous, she just seemed like a normal girl. But Sara just kept talking with Sora about things that I couldn't comprehend. My eyesight is getting increasingly badgered somehow. There was a gap between who she appeared to be and who she actually was. I kept staring at Sara from the side in a state of semi-awe. In the end, only Takeshi was completely surprised that Sora was AI. Yu was an employee at Limu, so of course she knew. Before leaving the room, Sugumi hadn't seemed that surprised. Sara, as was clear by her questions, had a solid grip on the situation. And the whole situation we were in was so crazy, I know what to be surprised about. Several hours passed. It seemed the sun was getting ready to set. In the dark depths of the ocean, my sense of time had eroded. I checked the time on my watch, finally making sure it was night. Nothing had changed in Limu. No one showed up to visit us. But things hadn't taken a turn for the worse, either. There didn't seem to be any impending danger of a floor collapse. We each spent time as we pleased. We had long forgotten we were trapped. I was in the rest area. I was on the bench looking at blooming flowers without really seeing them. There was no one else around. We were going to meet at 7 p.m. Until then, we had free time. I was thinking about Sora. The revealing of what she really was. Sora's real identity. AI, artificial intelligence, a program, a virtual image. Sora didn't really exist. In other words, Sora wasn't a person. But Sora clearly had a will of her own. She could think and act for herself. I knew that much. With my limited knowledge, everything other than that was beyond me. There were lots of things that I couldn't know. I looked down. The floor was covered with a layer of water. The lights of the ceilings were reflected in the water. It was like the cold light of the moon. I poked my finger into the water. Moon sprite? Plop. The water rippled, and the surface shook. The light in the water fragmented into a disarray, finally returning to its original shapes. I reached into the water, trying to grab the light, but I could only grab a little seawater. I couldn't touch the light. I tried again and again, but no matter how I tried, I couldn't grab the moon. So, where should I start explaining? I wish you'd start with the basic stuff. Sora was sitting next to me. At least that was how it appeared to me. I had decided to seek out an explanation directly from Sora. What exactly was Sora? It might have been rude asking her outright like that, but I thought that it would be ruder to continue along without really knowing. I see, so we were talking about RSD, right? Yeah. It might be something that you really don't want to talk about. Why would that be? Well, you're not a person, you're Sora, so asking about systems and stuff might be kind of personal. I don't really know how to say it. I just thought that it might be like someone was speaking inside you, and kind of unpleasant. My broken explanation brought a soft smile to Sora's face. You don't have to worry about that. What did you just say? I'm Sora, so I am what I am. For example, by explaining what I am, It is a way for you to better understand me. I squeezed my hand shut. Of course, I wasn't holding anything. Actually, I just explained all of this to Kuranari-san. Huh? To Takeshi? Yes. Sora gently put her hand on her chest. I am different from everyone else, but I want to be the same. That is why I want everyone to know about me. Saying that, Sora looked at me slightly and dropped her eyes. I felt like pieces of the puzzle scattered on the floor of my mind were about to fall into place. As if enticed by her grin, I became quiet. Well, shall I start? With an explanation of RSD. I concentrated on what she was saying so as not to miss anything. I wonder if putting on my glasses now will let me see anything nearby. Oh, still can't see anything close with my glasses on. This is so strange. Getting your going to the eye doctor messes you up. She placed both of her hands on her chest. Kid-san, can you see me? Yes, I see you. I am standing right next to you. You're sure? I'm positive. HIV. But suddenly Sora faced me and reached out toward me. And then, whoa! Sora's hand slipped into my chest without resistance. Reflexively, I tried to grab her arm, but my hands met with nothing. My hands were in front of my chest, but there was nothing there. Yes, so you are seeing me. However, I am not right next to you. Saying that, Sora pulled her hand back. RSD stands for Retinal Scanning Display. The display device is not actually a display. Rather, a weak laser is aimed at the retina. Retina? Mean my eye? Yes. In the ceiling of each room and corridors are semiconductor laser output devices. So the image is being directly reflected on your retina. Image? Yes, my image. Directly on my retina? Kid. Holographic screens typically allow for the objects behind them to be visible. This system uses the eyeball as a virtual screen and continuously sends an image synthesized with the background scenery. Well, what about your voice? It sounds like your voice is coming right from where your mouth appears. I added it right there. That wasn't there. Have you ever heard 3D sound? 3D sound? Have you ever listened to music using headphones? Probably, but I can't even remember, so I don't know for sure. Ah, that's right. Sorry about that. To answer my own question, most people hear the sound as if it is reverberating inside the center of their head, toward the back. Inside their head? I tried to visualize what she meant, a melody playing in my head. I could get a vague sense of what she said. Yeah, I think I kind of see what you mean. I think I've probably heard something like that before. But the sound is not actually coming from inside your head. I suppose not. But if you could apply this knowledge and adjust the volume from the left and right to accurately simulate this reverberating sound, then you could create the illusion that a sound was coming from above or below, left or right, any direction. Oh, I see. You mean the voice converters. I still had both of them in my ears. I removed them. They were about the size of the tip of my little finger. In front of me, Sora's mouth moved soundlessly. It was like I couldn't hear her voice. But that wasn't all. Then her image started to get a little fuzzy. Huh? When I replaced the voice converters, Sora's returned to normal. Voice converters are like AirPods in our ears. Wireless headphones in our ears. We have them on because this place is originally supposed to be at 6 atmospheres of pressure. And in order to sustain that, the composition of the air is changed. So there's a bit more helium here. So if we talk to each other without voice converters, we talk with a very high voice, like you do with helium, squeaky. But with the voice converters, we hear each other like normal people. When I replaced the voice converters, Sora returned to normal. The image's position is based on the location of the voice converters. So wherever you stand, in whichever direction you face, the Mint is constantly using sensors around the complex that monitor the partition of the voice converters to the millimeter. So that when I am 20 meters behind you, my voice will sound as if I am exactly 20 meters behind you. When I am to the right, sound comes from the right. When I am to the left, sound comes from the left. When I am under you, the sound comes from under. When you're under? Sora, when are you going to be under me? Well... Anyway, this is how it works. Do you understand? Kid-san, now try to face a little to the left. I faced to the left as she said. Sora stood and moved around to my right. Just a moment ago, I said that Lemme is constantly monitoring your position and direction you are facing. At the same time, Lemme is also monitoring the position of your eyeballs, so that even if you move, I still appear in the same place. This means that Lemme scans the image into your eye this way, so you can be made to suddenly disappear or reappear in another place. You want to see it? No, I think I'll pass. I suddenly imagined Sora disappearing and fleeting around here and there. It's kind of like you're a ghost. Yes, I hear that a lot. Being in the same place and looking at the same thing, only some people can see it and some people can't. I've never seen one, but if ghosts really do exist, I imagine they exist much the same way that I do. Now I get it. But there's something that bothers me. What is it? Sora, so you can't be in more than one place at a time? For example, you couldn't be in one room talking to me, and another talking with Sara? Theoretically, it is possible. However, the way that I am designed, I can't do that. Why not? I imagine just to help maintain a vision of reality for visitors, that there is only one Sora in the world. Without that kind of setting, visitors would get confused. That, and it was the policy of my designer. The policy of my designer was to create me as a character with an independent personality. That reminds me, I've heard the same thing about the United Land characters. There's only one of each character in the park. Like in a story, there can't be any one character in two places at the same time. The time for our gathering was getting near, so Sora and I headed to the conference room. It seemed that Sora, who could teleport anywhere instantly, was walking. Maybe she was doing it to humor me. I was wondering about the laser retina scan. So if I was in a place that the laser couldn't reach, then I couldn't see you? Of course not, but scanning devices are located in every room of the complex, and there are mirrors embedded in the walls, ceilings, and floors to reflect the images. So almost no matter where you are, I can be displayed. So there are no blind spots. That's the way it is designed. This is the way. However, there is one major flaw. Flaw? I am only seen when someone looks at me. What? I mean that I cease to exist when no one is looking at me. For example, if the 5 of you here all close your eyes at once, at that moment, I would cease to exist. I casually held up my hand in front of my eyes. I covered my view forward and looked down near my feet. There was no sign of Sora next to me. It was as if she had vanished or never been there in the first place. Surprised, I removed my hand and Sora reappeared in the corridor. The outline of Sora's sandals blurred dimly in the water. Someone has to see me. I have to be seen in order to exist. Vision. Someone's perspective actually creates me. Kid-san, when you close your eyes, I disappear. Eventually, we reached the conference room. Sora's face was one big smile. But somewhere in her smile seemed a hint of sadness. At least, it appeared that way to me. It was nighttime. Well, I'm putting safe. My back hurts, and my eyes hurt. Dolphin. If anybody knows what that is in German. Heck, even French. I'm done. Goodbye, gamers. And gamettes. See you. Have a nice